What is up everyone, my name's Al from Games Room, and today we're taking a look at a unreleased version, this is right, an unreleased version of Crazy Taxi. Now this Crazy Taxi is essentially Crazy Taxi with a GTA 1 kind of viewpoint from it. So it is Crazy Taxi in its element, it even plays as standard Crazy Taxi, but does also give you the option to play it like GTA 1. Now, I don't know why they didn't release this version. I can only assume it's because it kind of doesn't make sense to have it in a game like Crazy Taxi, but it's a bit of fun, and like I said, if it's done in the GTA 1 style, we should probably check it out. So yes, before we go any further, we just have to obviously mention this came up on the Sega Dreamcast Info Preservation Games by Laurent, and also Ro Magnus Larson popped this on the Dreamcast Talk forums recently. So I thought I had to cover this, mainly because, yeah, I thought this was a decent idea. I mean, basically, this is a prototype version of Crazy Taxi that got canned, which basically gives you the option to have a view like GTA 1. So if you remember GTA 1, as you can see right here, it's kind of top down. Well, with this version, you also have this element to it. Is it any good though, and does it really add anything to Crazy Taxi? Let's take a look.
Alright, let's get it on. Hey, it's time to make some crazy money. Are you ready? Here we go.
Now, yeah, this is it. This is the GTA style view that I was talking about. I mean, you can't deny it is quite fun to see in Crazy Taxi, but you can kind of understand why it didn't get released with this edition. Now, you can see it's unfinished because there's a lot of textures and stuff that just don't seem to work all that well from the top-down view. Now, the other thing I don't like, really, is the fact that, yeah, they've kind of got this far-out view there that gives a lot of blanks. There's also a blank view, as you just saw on the other screens, but for me, it seemed really hard from the GTA 1 style point, kind of bird's eye viewpoint, but you couldn't really actually see where any of your potential customers are and where they're kind of really, wanting to go. That's the really odd thing about it. Don't get me wrong, it does give you the arrow, but from there, it doesn't really help all that much. I suppose, so at the end of the day, like I said, this isn't, or wasn't actually a finished prototype. This was a prototype. That's exactly what it was. So, yeah, there's the black screen, and then there's, like I said, when you're overhead, you can't actually tell where the customers are. Now, you can hear them shouting at you, saying, taxi, this, whatever, but you can't actually see where they are. The other thing is, like I just did, I drove straight into a bus because I couldn't really tell how high I was compared to the bus, if that makes any sense at all. There's no real depth perception here. Yeah, there's a shadow on the bottom of the taxi, but apart from that, it doesn't feel... yeah, it just doesn't feel right. But it is cool to see, like I just said, because, otherwise you'd never see these kind of things. But for me, not massively... yeah, I'm kind of glad they didn't go down this route. The other real kind of bad thing with this is the fact that you're going under bridges or into car parks, etc., like multi-storey car parks like the one there. If I'd gone through there, how the hell would have I seen where I was going? Because it doesn't go see-through, it doesn't change, it still gives you that over-the-top kind of style. I mean, GTA 1 did this with kind of not really giving you anything to go under. Yeah, I mean, this kind of does it as well, as you'll probably see the further I get, closer to the big town, the big city. But it just... yeah, it's a weird one, and like I said, I can kind of understand why it didn't go ahead in the end, because it just doesn't make the arcade game... it doesn't add anything to the arcade game. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, controls still work exactly the same. It's, it looks kind of nice. You can't deny it's a cool thing to see. But I wouldn't say it's anything we definitely need, and like I said, I'm glad it didn't happen. Anyway, I've been Al from Games Rip. Hope you've liked this nice little look at the prototype version of Crazy Taxi, unreleased for the Sega Dreamcast, like comment and subscribe. And I'll leave you with some more footage. Al signing out. You can now support the channel on patreon.com/gamesrip, as well as remember to like, comment and subscribe.